Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. Let's have a heart-to-heart conversation about Pop the Balloon or Find Love. If any of you are not familiar with that show, let me tell you a little bit about it. So for one, it's a very superficial show, in my opinion. But the whole point of the show is to find love, which it's all superficial. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know anybody. It's not like you're doing like multiple shows. It's not like a season of the same people on a show, like getting to know each other and then chancing it that way. It's literally just one show, and you don't get that long. You just gotta make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't have to, but if the option is there, you can make a choice and basically go off and see if it works out or not. So basically, it's just a way of kind of like finding people, like meeting people and connecting, and then after that, it's on you. So it's like a lineup of people. Usually, it's like I think it's like 8 to 10 people. So for me, if I was to go on that show and I was the one that was looking for love, then the host would have 8 to 10 men who are also looking for love. They will be standing in a line waiting for me to come out. Now, when I come out, they can pop their balloon on me. If they're like, I don't like what she looks like, I'm popping the balloon. I don't like what her hair looks like. I don't like her makeup. I don't like her clothes. I don't like her height. Like, it can be anything that's superficial. They can pop the balloon. Then the host will ask me questions, and I'll start off telling her whatever, like answering her question. They can pop the balloon again. Then the host will go around, and for the people to pop their balloon, she'll get the information, like letting them tell me why they popped the balloon on me. And then I can ask a question, and then like basically from what people are saying, then I could choose to pop their balloon. Like, I'll have to choose a person to pop their balloon. Or they can again pop, like everybody can be popping a balloon. Except for the person that's coming out, I don't have my own balloon in my hand. But all the contestants, they have the balloon in their hand. And then basically if they pop it, they're out. They just stand there and wait for your time to shine is over, basically. So either everyone ends up popping all their balloons at the end, and then you don't find love, or you're left with a couple people you can choose from, and you'll pop the balloon of the person you don't want, and you'll take the other person that you do want. And if you guys both agree that you want to date, then you go off with that person, and now you found love. I hope I just explained that right. But if y'all have watched it, I'll watch it on YouTube. It's literally called Pop the Balloon or Find Love. So I'll watch it on there. I don't know where else it's playing. I never really looked that deeply into it. I just seen it on my For You suggestions, and I watched it. And then that's how I've been watching it. And every now and then I'll go on there and just try to see what they got going on. It can make you get stuck into it though. So if you got stuff to do, sis, or man, whoever you are watching this right now, and you interested in watching that show, make sure it's the day you ain't got nothing to do. Cause that show will suck you in, and you'll be watching it for hours, and next thing you know, 3-4 hours went by, and you didn't stay here all this time. Wasting time, But I got some good news for you. I don't feel like it's a complete waste of time. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because you'll learn a lot from that show. If you watch it and you get in tune with it, and you're not just watching it to judge it. If you're single, you can learn a lot. I've learned a lot from just watching that show a few times. And some of the things that I've noticed on that show that I realized we actually do that in dating is some of the things that I want to talk to you guys about. So then maybe you can kind of work on this too. But number one, the first thing is the superficialness. We're very superficial beings. Like I said, like these people don't know you, that you don't know them, and just because of what they look like, you pop their balloon. You don't like the way they're dressed, you don't like the way they talk, you don't like their skin tone, you don't like their hair. It's just, we're just so superficial, and sometimes they could be really mean and hurtful on that show, like kind of cut below the belt without being nasty. It's like nice nasty. I've seen so many crazy episodes that I'm just like, you could not pay me enough to go on that show. And it's not about insecurities or nothing like that. I mean, yes, granted, I honestly do believe we all have insecurities to a degree, but that's not the reason I would want to stay away from that show. I just feel like, one, yes, it's embarrassing if somebody's talking about you crazy over something that you don't have control over, like your height, your skin tone, your feet, all this kind of stuff. But it also, it's not real. I mean, I believe it's not real. I mean, why would you take yourself through all that to maybe meet somebody and then go on a date with them, and then you probably find out later on anyway, because it's the dating so fast. Like, you're not really dating, you're just interviewing people and you choose the best person. And so I don't know. To me, it's a lot. It's a lot to risk yourself, putting yourself out there to be made fun of, talked about, judged negatively by the people that is on the show and by people watching the show. It's just too much. And I feel like we've gotten too desperate for dating, y'all. Let's learn to meet people authentically. Let's get back to talking to people. Like, all this, we gotta do all this extra stuff to find a relationship, to find love. We gotta chill with that. That's just my opinion. But yeah, they go on the show, they put their stuff out there and they get judged, and it's entertaining, but I also feel like it can be a little toxic in a way. But there are some things that I noticed. If you're serious about finding love, not finding a one night stand, not finding lust, but truly trying to find love, then you need to present yourself that way. A real man and a real woman are believers, are people who value themselves. They're not going to want to marry the person who's more so trying to be sexy or arrogant. And there's a lot of arrogance on that show too. The arrogance is coming from the men, and the trying to be sexy is coming from the women. If you watch that show, you'll see exactly what I mean. Now, the bigger, more important things that I've noticed is people not being able to answer questions. What I mean by that is, if someone's asking you a specific question, what would you do if you and I are in an argument and we can't seem to agree? How would you handle that situation? You ramble on about how you're a good person, you're nice, you're understanding, and you wouldn't really, if it was a disagreement or whatever, like, you still just believe that, we could just work it out. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is somebody who doesn't know you. To somebody who do know you, or someone who has already had the opportunity to talk to you, that type of answer, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of got a feel for you already. But this is somebody who does not know you. So the shallow answers, I noticed that happens a lot. Or people don't even answer the question at all. Like, they'll go completely off topic and like talk about something that wasn't the question at all that they were answering. They were just answering whatever was in their head. And that's a big no-no too, because first impressions matter. So that person's thinking like, you don't even listen. I asked you a simple question and you're not even answering the question. I asked you if you like to go outside in the summertime, and you said, sometimes in my house, I like to just relax all day and watch TV, and yeah, and it looks really nice outside sometimes, so I open my window. Y'all see what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how people be answering questions on that show, and I'll be like, that wasn't what the question, whatever. But moving on, I know people don't know what they're looking for in a mate. When people ask, what are you looking for in your potential partner? I don't know. And it don't even be the people that's asking that all the time. Usually it's the host asking that. And you're newly coming out as the person who's looking for your mate in this lineup. And, ooh, what am I looking for in a mate? I don't really know. That's a good question. That's a red flag, honey. You not be looking to date anybody, male or female, if that's your response to that question. Because you should know there should not be a hesitation. You should be confident in it. Even if you know, but you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, you're not ready to date, because then now you're not ready to weed people out. You're going to just settle for anything because you want to be nice. So that. And then, like, when the question's asked, what are some of your deal breakers? I don't really know about what my deal breakers are. I guess somebody who's not kind. Do y'all realize there's so much more that's needed in a relationship? And then, I mean, yes, kindness is important, but what about loyalty? What about respect? What about belief, a religious belief? You know, what about those type of things? What about someone who wants children, who is good with children, someone who knows how to love, someone who's already been single for a while? Of course, you got to ask this in a deal breaking way, not not say that that's a deal breaker because you've healed. No, but just like, for an example, if I want to use the healing, a deal breaker for me is someone who's just freshly got out of a relationship or who is not healed from past relationships. You should be able to answer that question like that. Not, no. And then another thing is when people ask, what is your purpose? I notice people don't know. They be answering like an airhead. Like, I mean, I think like just basically just to just be a good person, be a wife, and be a husband, be a good parent, travel. Your purpose is really not connected to what you're going to get. I don't mean to step on nobody's toes. I had to learn this too. When I started getting real and raw and allowing God to show me what my purpose was, I realized my purpose ain't got nothing to do with Mika. It's not really what I want to do. It's not something that's going to bring me the utmost joy. I'll get joy from it, sure. Or I would have joy while doing it because I'm doing the purpose that God has instilled inside of me. But just something I choose, no. I noticed that your purpose is something that it's not about, like I said, it's not about you. So saying my purpose is to be a wife or a husband, it's to be in love, it's to travel, it's to have like a business. Those are things that you want. Those are desires of your heart. There's a difference. Your purpose, though, is what God has put inside of you to do. It's you being a servant. That's what your purpose is. Like, my purpose is to help people, which is why I'm aligned with social work, which is why I'm working towards that goal, because this is what God put inside of me. And when I think about social work and what I've learned about social work and all the things that come along with being a social worker, yes, it's fulfilling because I'm doing what God has told me to do. But when I think about it logically, it ain't something I want to do. We talk about parenting being a thankless job. Imagine doing that for people you don't even know, grown folks, people that's older than you, people who can care less if you here tomorrow. It's us being a servant, though. It's getting outside of yourself. It's being selfish. It's loving people even when they seem unlovable. It's being there for other people even when you don't want to be. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what I believe purpose is. And even when it is something that's coming from you, like you're telling your story, let's say, you're telling your testimony, you're talking to other women, you're talking to other men, you're doing things like that. Again, that's servant. But also in that, you'll notice that God will let you go through something so painful and he'll bring you out of it. That way your story is so purposeful and it helps people. And you're being a servant. And you're bringing people to Christ just by being obedient, telling your story, and having a servant mindset, putting out your business, going through the struggles that you went through. You allow God to bring you through onto the other side. So now you can help other people. That's purpose. You notice I haven't said nothing about you getting a big, beautiful home, you hitting the lottery. You get what I'm trying to say? But I just noticed that it makes me so afraid with the whole dating things these days, because this is real life. These are how these people are thinking. They're just going on TV and they're just desperate for love. Sorry if you've been on that show. I'm not trying to offend you at all, but I'm just saying, like, we don't let things happen authentically anymore. We're just in such, like they say, a microwave world where we just want to have everything happen so fast, and we want to make it as easy as possible. We don't want to do the hard work. We don't want to meet people authentically. We don't want to talk. We don't want to do anything. We just want it to kind of flow to us. And that's just why it's not working out. And also in that, we also don't want to do the work on ourselves to deserve that. That's why we probably haven't gotten it yet. If we make it make sense, it makes a lot of sense. Another thing I notice is that people are so easily offended. If a person is telling you, like, hey, this is what I don't like, or you said you made this comment, I don't like this, or if for any reason they're saying, like, hey, this is what I like in a partner and I don't see that in you, or whatever it is. Is it hurtful? It could be, especially if you was attracted to that person, but they're not attracted to you. I get that. But getting easily offended and arguing with people because of their preference or whatever they see fit for themselves, that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gotta learn to just move around. Okay, you don't want me? Fine. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to do that. We get stuck in wanting to argue and debate and prove why we're right and why you're wrong. And there was an episode where there was people debating who was a prize and who wasn't. Like, stuff that does not matter. It doesn't matter. If you ain't got God, you're not a prize anyway. I don't care who you are. You can be the most gorgeous woman in the world. You can be the most handsome man in the world. You can have all the money. You can have the finest body. I don't care. If you don't have a relationship with God, you are in no way, shape, form, or fashion a prize. And I'm so sorry to say that. I'm so sorry to make it sound like I'm just being cruel or nasty or anything like that. But we have to let go of this immature talk. Fleshly, we can say we're all the prize to each other. But on a deeper level, when you're trying to date God's way, especially, and if you're trying to get into a godly marriage, you both should be the prize because you both should have that relationship with God and then come together. So yes, you should both be the prize, but there's no such thing as I'm the prize because I have a vagina, or you're the prize because you have a penis, or I'm the prize because I look beautiful, or you're the prize because you got money. Like, we got to stop with that. And, I don't really like the prize talk anyway. I think highly of myself, but not to that degree. I know I am a human. I'm flawed. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. So someone's got to deal with some bullcrap from me as much as I would have to deal with it from them. So I'm not just going to go into a relationship saying, oh, well, I'm the prize. So because if you think that way, you're going to carry yourself that way. And what happens is you belittle your partner because you think that you're the prize and that everything should go your way. That person should be lucky to have you because you're the only prize in that relationship. See what I'm saying? So the ways that we think causes toxicity. Even if we're not saying it, if we're thinking it and believing it, it causes toxicity and it causes our relationships to fail. But again, that's Mika's opinion, and I'm not trying to judge you, and I'm not trying to say that you're thinking silly if you believe otherwise, because we have the right to believe what we want to believe. But I honestly believe, because of the type of woman that I am and where I am in life right now, I'm not considering anybody to be a prize unless they have a relationship with God. Because if you can help me strengthen my relationship with God even more than what it is, you're a prize to me because you're helping me here on this earth. And then also you're helping me save my soul. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a prize. People forget that there's a life outside of this one. I don't want to put my beliefs onto anybody. I don't want to go too deep down a rabbit hole. But that's why I was just saying, like, That was something I've noticed on the show that I thought was a little ridiculous. We want to fight about who's surprised and who's not, but we standing up here half dressed and we all cocky and have our head in a cloud and treating people like they're not nothing just because we got money. Like that's not a prize. That's not even prize behavior. So it's just, to me, it's the whole I'm the prize, you're the prize, he's the prize, she's the prize kind of thing is beyond me. But that's all I have to say. Again, if you have the opportunity to check out Pop the Balloon or Find Love, I highly recommend that you do, because you really can learn a lot. You can have your own perspective about it. You can watch it and you may think it's amazing. You may watch it and say, oh, I could use this tip or I can use that tip. They have some great questions on there that they ask one another. So maybe some stuff that you haven't thought about. I mean, I know there was a lady who came on there. She was asking really, really superficial questions like, do you like to travel? Do you want kids? Are you a provider? Questions like that. And it's like, we don't have that much time to narrow down who you want to like date outside of the show. So I really do think it's very important that we're going and asking questions that are very relevant to where we are in life. So for me, I'm a believer. So that's one of the questions I'm going to ask. What is your relationship with God like? How important is church to you? Do you attend Bible study? Do you believe in prayer? Some people, they believe in God and everything, but they don't believe in prayer. How important is having a prayer life to you? Because it's important to me. Some people on that show think so superficial. It's just like, come on, we have to do better than that. If we want to be serious, we have to really get deep into what it is that we want. But watch the show, get some ideas, write down some of the questions, some questions that's really good. And like I said, that you feel is relevant to what you want and what you're looking for. Because it may be questions to come up that you like, oh, I never thought to ask that, or I didn't know how to ask that, but I like the way that this person asked that question. So now I can start using it that way to ask the question to somebody else or whoever, but you can learn a lot from that show. And you also see the things that you don't want to do. But this video's long enough. Like I said, this video was really just done because I was in that show and I seen some things. I was just like, oh my goodness, we definitely have to talk about this. But like I said, I'm not here to judge you or to offend anybody. And again, my belief is my belief. Your belief is your belief. Just watch the show, see what you can pick up from it. Have fun. Some of it I'll be cracking up, y'all. So just have fun. And with the whole dating thing, my main thing is just for you to work on yourself. You should already know these things. Know what your purpose is. Know what your goals in life are. Know what you're looking for. Know what you're not looking for. Know what your deal breakers are. Know what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. You need to know these things before you try to worry about dating somebody else. That's all I'm saying. But y'all let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment box below. Just make sure that you're polite and courteous, because someone like myself is reading your messages. And we are not here to be negative and to tear each other down or to make each other feel less than, children of God, just because we don't agree with something that's said. And if you want to leave some advice, please do so for somebody else. If you're in a relationship and you have some pointers, share with us single people. We want to know, help us out. And, we're just here to help each other grow. We're a family, and I understand we all have our own perspective. So we're going to have times where we disagree, but we can do it respectfully. If you want to, on the other hand, be negative and have something to say to me, that's fine. Just send me an email. You can let me know there. We can have a conversation, or I can choose not to respond to you, but at least I got it. Or if you want to leave a testimony or some more ideas or some more advice and you want me to share it, I will just put share in the subject line, and I will share your testimony, your advice, or whatever without sharing any of your personal identifiers. And also you can leave a new topic idea, and if it's something that I feel like I could talk about, I will do so. And I pray that you all have a wonderful night, morning, whatever time you're watching this, and wonderful and blessed week. And we will talk again next Thursday. Bye.